love me, yeah, they love me. First love yourself. For that, and God we trust me. I don't trust myself. Your jewelry, I get it took. No show.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Florida, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. They will also match your first deposit up to $100, and you get a special pick when you sign up. Of course, I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, with your hosts, Mase and Cam.
What up, y'all? What's happening?
What's good?
Ain't nothing, man. No Saturday morning. Just getting to it. How you doing, man? Good to see y'all on the weekend, man.
Yeah, up and early. Pause.
Thanks.
Up and early as well, but I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Pause.
Okay, so let's get into the Spurs. They finally broke their losing streak, this time to the Los Angeles Lakers, winning 129-115. So the initial question is, was this the team you expected them to kill their streak to? And how do you feel about them beating the Lakers?
I mean, if it was ever a team to show off on, it would be on the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, I know it's early in the morning, but if you want to kill anybody and kill any streak, why not kill the king, you know? I don't know how Killer feel about that, but he should be in favor, you know?
My problem with this is I have a few problems with this whole situation. You can hear me? I'm good?
Yeah.
I was saying I have a few problems with this whole situation.
What is it?
My first problem is this. Last game, Wemby posterized AD, and now AD didn't play last night. Like, why did you take a game off when it's against Wemby? These are the people that we're talking about, and I hate to make it an ongoing issue with AD. When it comes to the Joel Embiids, when it comes to the Jokers, and I'm not comparing Wemby to any of them, but these are the people that your height is good, and he's a rookie and all that. But at the end of the day, you have to play against good opposition. You know, they can sit here and call all of us delusional when I did the complex interview because we picked Bam over AD. But when AD be having these 40-point games and these 35-point games, which, listen, it's the NBA. You get 30, it's 30. I'm not saying that 30 ain't 30. But when you get it against lower competition, I have to be skeptical of that. And I'm not saying Wemby could fuck with him, but Wemby's pretty good. Last game, like I said, I don't know if people seen it, but he kind of posterized AD. And it was like, damn, AD, you let niggas posterize you? Now, Wemby could posterize a lot of niggas. The nigga's 7'5", with handle, could shoot. They put him in center. I think he's more like a 3 if you ask me. But I have a problem with AD not playing. Secondly, my next thing is with this situation is that the Lakers are going to be targets now because it's not a problem, it's more of a statement. The Lakers are going to be targets because you just won the in-season tournament. You wanted to pop champagne. You wanted to brag. You wanted to put the goggles on in the locker room.
Yeah.
You wanted to show off. You was talking about the king is back and everything else. Y'all are officially a target starting the day after y'all won the in-season tournament. Lastly, what I'll say is this. Y'all, the San Antonio Spurs, this is my team. You know, a lot of people don't know what my team is. The Spurs are my team. We've been doing bad for a few years, but we've done good this century. Y'all got to stop playing with my nigga Pop name, yo. Like, y'all fucking 18 games in a row for Popovich is just ridiculous. And I don't think that the players are recognizing his legacy and what he means as a head coach and what he's done in the past. Because right now, basically, y'all playing with a nigga name. Like, yo, Pop don't have no 8. Do you know how bad this looks on Pop's resume? 18-game losing streak snap. Like, it's good to win.
I don't think he ever had a team like that.
Ever. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like you got to understand, my personal opinion is this, and I don't know this for a fact, but my personal opinion is this, is that Pop would have retired by now or thought about retiring if he didn't get Wemby. Now, Wemby's like, maybe I could build something around it. And Wemby, like I said, Murder, you brought up his numbers a few episodes ago, how he was averaging 20 and 10 or 11 rebounds. And the numbers look good, but every time I watch the full game, I don't see full, I don't see the full effort. You know, it looked like he could probably get that in his sleep. It looked like he could probably get 16, 17 points without trying, 8 points. I don't see the eye of the tiger, so to speak. I don't see that nigga, y'all can't fuck with me. Look, and maybe they ain't how maybe that's not how he was raised. Maybe that's not how he was brought up. Maybe he's a smooth individual to be like, man, I'm just a smooth. Nah, you got to get that eye of the tiger fucking with Pop. And I don't like the way they playing with Pop's name. I think they need to do some due diligence. They probably got a lot of young players on the team, but they have to realize this is probably, I think he's second and third in wins ever in the NBA. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. You know, somebody can't wait to correct the nigga. But at the end of the day, y'all have to do this more. I know it's about everybody's individual input and effort and so on, but goddamn, help your coach out. This is a Hall of Fame coach, which considered by a lot of people may be the best coach ever outside of maybe Pat Riley or Phil Jackson or people of that nature. Stop playing my nigga Pop name. So those are the three things that I get out this whole game.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they turned up for this game, though, because, I mean, with everything being said, he did go 13, 15, and 5. So he still was in the box scores. But it seemed like exactly what you're saying. You want to see more aggression from him. And the other guy that did well, I like the way he played. What's the other guy from San Antonio that you was talking about, Stat? He did his thing.
Sohan?
Nah, that's the wrong guy. It was
Vassell?
Vassell.
Vassell?
Yeah, Vassell 36.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
they can't play. But you got to do this every night because just like you're saying, Killer, that the target is on LA's back, the target is on Wemby. You know,
Absolutely.
somebody's trying to prove that you don't belong, Wemby. You got to take this serious. And not that you're not taking this serious, but not as serious as you should. You got to start taking this way more serious. Like, I'm over in America like an assassin. I'm here on detail for a duty. Pause to just go crazy on everybody every night. Put somebody in, in the basket for real. Every game. Every game you got.
I totally agree. And that's a great point because, like you said, the target been on his back since they've been talking about it. So to me, watching him, I don't think that's his personality. Like, the same way, I'm not comparing the two, but it's the same way that when we was talking about how Sean Payton was trying to turn Russell Wilson into a gangster, and that just wasn't Russell Wilson's personality. Looking at Wemby and his body language and his facial expressions, I don't think that's his personality. And if you go at the end of the night and try and talk to him about it, he may just pull up the box score like you just did, Murder, and be like, well, I don't know what the problem is. Yeah,
and
exactly.
There's a difference between playing basketball and dominating. And I think he needs to understand, it hasn't caught on yet, that this would be okay if we didn't say you were the second heir apparent. You know what I'm saying? Once people start putting you in that light, you got to show up and you got to go crazy. It can't just be like, well, you had 13 and 14. No, it got to be like 39 and 8, 39 and 7, like 40 and 8 rebounds. Like, I don't belong out here with y'all niggas. That's how it gotta look. Pause. That's how it gotta feel. Like when you see him, like he's light years past everybody else. It cannot look like they're kind of on the same page. Or even when you got check on another team, it's time to start making some distance between them two. Like you don't want people arguing like, no, like we were saying, bow ball, what's the difference? Bow ball, right? Niggas can't. What's the difference? And you supposed to be a once in a lifetime generational talent. They can't be saying that. That's disrespectful.
And not only that, and 100% agree with you, but you know what the niggas like from this generation do? And I can't say
What?
this about Wemby. I don't know him, but you know what they do? From everything what you just said, what they'll do is sit there and say, I didn't ask you to put all that on me. I didn't ask to be the next apparent.
Yeah,
Y'all,
passive
this,
aggressive.
yeah,
Want the money
yeah,
of being that nigga, but you want the responsibility of just everybody else. I'm a human like everybody else. Well, get a human, get paid $20 an hour and sit on the side.
That's 100% correct. Cause I could picture somebody giving him the same speech that you just said just now, and then they sit there and say, "This is what y'all. I just came to play basketball, man. I didn't ask to be the next heir apparent. I didn't ask to be that nigga. Y'all are making me into what y'all want me to be, and that's not who I asked to be. I just came to do 15 and 13."
And I nigga, make sure your agent understands this, and make sure your agent is talking like this, because your agent is negotiating like you're the next best heir apparent, but you're trying to take the responsibilities of a role player in San Antonio. Nobody's coming to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better. It's just about the balance in between. Pause. Are you the heir apparent? Are you a role player?
Yeah.
And where the money's going to end up in between those two on both sides of the coin, so to speak.
If you want lower requirements, tell it to your agent, nigga. Let your agent know this. So when he called, we can say, you know what? Wemby said he doesn't want the responsibilities of the money that you're asking for. So can we come up with another price?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Absolutely.
Okay, so there's still a lot of discussion around Draymond's suspension, and one person who had something to say was Rudy Gobert. He says he feels empathy for Draymond after hearing the news of his indefinite suspension. He said, "You see somebody that's not well inside and suffering. You take away the game and all of that, and you want somebody to be well and be able to do what we do every night and compete and be happy." Do you feel like his comments were genuine?
This is the same thing that we just was talking about with Wemby. Yo, nigga choke you out, and nigga say, "Nah, I feel sorry for him." Like, nigga, how does that work? I don't really even get that. Like, that's certain shit where, like, you might not be able to go to sleep if a nigga choke you out thinking about what you got to do to him tomorrow. Like, I don't know, man. Listen, we in a different time, so where a nigga choke you out and say, "Nah, he's going through something. Don't worry about it." We gotta pray for him.
That's exactly what I was feeling. How do you get to choke a nigga out and tell a nigga your arm hurting? That's what it feels like. Oh, it's like, yo, you see what he did to my arm? Look at my.
Yeah, he put his chin down on my arm when I was actually choking him out, so that fucked me up. I don't know, like,
like Draymond. Yeah, they was talking about Draymond. I think what's his name? Andre Iguodala. He's a part of the committee now as well. And I was listening to Joe Dumars talk about the suspension is indefinite, and he was like, "We just want Draymond to get well." I'm like, "No, we want niggas to stop getting choked. We want niggas to, how about we want niggas to stop getting slapped at half court? It's not just Draymond. Yeah, who says that? We want the sniper to get better. Yeah. This is out of hand. And I love Draymond, pause, but this is out of hand. It's like all the sympathy.
No, go ahead, Murder. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said all the sympathy is for the Predators, you know? This is crazy.
The crazy shit is, did you see his mixtape of highlights of just him fucking people up? The mixtape is crazy. You seen that shit?
Ah, the mixtape looked like a gang, you know?
But did you see it? He got a couple mixtapes out of when he just fucking niggas up, like all his highlights over the years of the Wild. The mixtape got him looking.
Stack, go ahead and play it. Pull it up.
Yeah, because
I don't want the NBA to sue us. We got to see.
Right.
We might be able to play it. See, we in the era right now where a nigga hit us for defamation for the shit that they did.
Yeah, defamation for him, but no charges for him choking niggas. Slap the nigga on the street, you go to jail for that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Streets, you go to jail for that. So I mean, the NBA is, I don't know what Adam Silver doing right now, man. I don't get it.
What I'll say is this, you know, and wrapping it up for me on this particular topic. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Where's Rudy Gobert and Wemby are both from France?
Yeah.
This is the attitude that we just was talking about. Like, we just was speaking about this. Like, no disrespect to them French niggas, but they get busy in the streets. You know what I'm saying? The niggas jump my nigga day.
Not these two niggas. They want powdered French fries.
Yeah, they want truffle. Like, yo, you got a nigga 7'1" and a nigga 7'5".
Yeah.
There's just walking around on ballerina shoes, man. I just don't really get it, man. So a nigga can't choke me out and I say a nigga need help. That's just not me. I'm not doing that.
These niggas sound like I can't say it, but like a girlfriend that wants her boyfriend not to go to jail. That's how these niggas sound.
Yeah, domestic.
Yeah, domestic.
Yeah,
it's definitely TV all day.
Yeah.
Okay. So the NBA All-Star Game will take place February 18th, 2024, and voting tips off December 19th. Who do you guys think will be the top picks in the East and the West?
I'm going Steph. I wrote this down. I knew you was going to ask that. I wrote Steph, Luka, Katie, Joker, and LeBron.
Well, I didn't do my own list. I'm not, because I could say and act like and cheat it and just act like I know everything that's going on. But right now, leading the West is Kevin Durant and LeBron James, and leading the East, Jason Tatum just took over the top spot from Joel Embiid. Adding to the list of because I agree with both of these 4 players that they have so far. Adding to that, I'm going to say before Steph, as much as we may not like it, is I'm going to go with Shea down there in OKC. I believe he should definitely be starting at point guard. He's been cooking stuff this year, the 2 or 3 games that they played. 2 games actually that I paid attention to. I don't know if it's more than 2, but we talked about it on the show. How you
Steph?
Huh?
You putting Shea over Steph for the All-Star?
Man, we watched them games. He cooked stuff. See, the thing about All-Star is this. The starting 5 is for the fans. So Steph might start because he's more popular. When you sit there, yeah, you know, if you're going off popularity, yeah, Steph is going to start the game. If we're going off of how people have been playing, Steph been kicking ass. But we had this convo on a couple shows how you step your game and elevate your game depending on who you're playing against. And Shea did that both times when he played against Golden State. His numbers was looking outrageous. I don't have them off the top of my head.
Yeah, because one time he posted the video of what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So if we're going purely off play, yeah, I'm putting Shea ahead. But that's the one thing about the All-Star is that the starting five are picked by the fans. So for all we know, we don't know how many people in France are going to vote. Wemby could be started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of them situations where we know damn well Shaq was better than Yao Ming, but Yao Ming started over Shaq because of all the votes that were coming from Asia.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you got a bunch. You got a bunch. Yeah, Shaq, it made no sense for Shaq to be coming off the bench in an All-Star game. But if you letting the fans vote, like I said, the league promotes who they want to be stars, and these people are following guidelines of what they've been taught or been not taught, what they've been shown. You see posters of Steph Marbury, you see posters of Kevin Durant, you see posters of LeBron James, you see Jason Tatum, you see Joel Embiid, you see the Joker. This is already in your brain. It's like, years ago, with radio, it's different now because we have streaming, we have all this music on our phone and on our television. It was a time with radio, they would basically mind fuck you and play the same songs 3-4 times an hour, and it was called payola, where they would pay the DJs to play the song over, because now, even if you didn't like a song, it's in your brain to where you're singing along with it because that's all you've been hearing. Now you might start to like the song a little bit. This is kind of how the NBA markets their superstars. And when it's voting time, I don't think that Shea is going to outshine Steph. But at the same time, if you're going purely off play, yes, I would put Shea above Steph. Also, go ahead, I'm sorry.
What's his name? Was Yao Ming a rookie when he started over Shaq?
That's a great question. I don't remember what year it was, but I remember I was totally disgusted by it.
Yeah, I know that the reason why I asked that, because if not, Wemby might be the first he might be the first rookie to start in the All-Star game from overseas.
That's a great point. It's such a fantastic point. I'm not sure, but it's something we could look into and revisit. But we don't know how the voting is going to go. And when the fans vote, it's nothing you could do about it. Then what happens is the coaches, for people out there who don't know, so the fans vote on the starters.
Yeah.
And the NBA coaches vote on the bench players. So that's how that works. But
and they're probably picking their own teams. Like last year, are they doing that again where the two main people pick the players?
Probably. I kind of like that process because it creates hate against other players. I remember James Harden was the last person picked, and Giannis said, I don't want to play with James Harden because I don't want to play with somebody who doesn't pass the ball. What that does for me is create tension throughout the season. Yeah. So now, I remember James Harden clapped back and said, yeah, somebody with no skill who's 7 feet just got to put the ball in the basket. They wouldn't really even know what basketball is about. Talking about Giannis, what he said about James Harden, because, he was the last person picked. So I do like that format because it's park shit. It's regular street shit. If you're in the park and you be like, yo, I got him, you got him, and there's one nigga left that nobody wants, you like, just come on, man. But he's the 10th player in the park. There's nobody else to pick. And that's kind of how some of these players may feel when they're the last person picked. So I do like that format because, to me, that creates animosity, and not in a bad way, sports related animosity moving forward in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Okay, so the Celtics beat the Orlando Magic 128-111. Although the Magic is currently 4th in the East, do the Celtics seem unstoppable to you right now?
Like Killer said earlier in the season, the Celtics go as far as they're gonna have Porzingis in the lineup. If he's in the lineup and healthy, they're probably gonna steamroll through the East with Porzingis. It's always a matter of how healthy he is, because there's nobody else on that team that surprises me. When Tatum gets 39, we're not surprised by that. If Jaylen Brown gets 20, you're not surprised by that, right? If what's his name even have a breakout game? what's his name? Holiday. You're not gonna be surprised by that. So everything on this team sells or sink, pause, based upon Porzingis. If he plays well, that team should win a championship. I think that's a foregone conclusion. The only person I have say in that is the Joker. Now, if the Joker feel like today, it doesn't matter that the unicorn is here. I'll sip a beer after this. Then they're still in trouble. It depends on how the Joker feel about it.
Yeah, I totally agree with Mase. Porzingis, it's like even last night, he didn't play last night. I don't know if it was injury. I don't know if it was rest. They still won, but and the Magic has been doing really well this year. We need to probably keep me personally, Mesa and Stat. I think y'all been keeping up a little more than I have with the Orlando Magic, but I probably need to keep a closer eye on them. But they've been doing really well. But I said this before, I don't agree with load management. But if somebody needs load management, it needs to be Porzingis, because what I'm going to do next episode, if not next episode, Monday, I'm going to find out how many games each season he's played since he's been in the NBA. Because I guarantee it probably won't be over 70% for his best season. It's seasons where he probably missed 50 or 60% of the season. And if Boston is going to want to win the championship, like we said, it goes as far as he goes. I think Drew Holiday's a step up from Marcus Smart. I think Tatum and Jaylen Brown are great. And I think it's time for them to make the move. And this is the move. This is the time to make it. Joel Embiid is good. Maxey is stepping up with Philly. To me, I don't know exactly what it is. And they're in second place. They're only 2 games behind Boston. But for me, I don't know if this thing is all the way working out with Damian Lillard and the Milwaukee Bucks. Like I said, it isn't. What you said?
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad, and I know we all say they need time to figure it out. And listen, they're only 2 games back. They may hit a switch and say, okay, this is what we need to tweak. This is what's going on. This is what's wrong. But for some reason, what I was thinking, in my opinion, before the season started, when we first heard about this trade, that they would be head and shoulders above the East right now. I thought they would be ahead in the East by 5, 6, 7 games right now. And they're fluctuating in between second and fourth place the last couple of weeks. So we don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, this may be one of those things where when you 2 good players get together, but they don't gel together. Like
Right.
it's a certain style of superstars that work together. I think they're looking at this as they got to take the approach that LeBron and D Wade had.
Right.
And Lillard being D Wade, and Giannis being LeBron. And in order to do that, they got to get a dominant big. They're missing a dominant big, and you got to really know whose team it is. Like, do we win better as it's being Giannis' team, or will we win more as it being Damian Lillard team? And I think once they made it Giannis' team, Lillard don't play well as a second.
Well, we're finding out now because it's the first time he had to play second fiddle. But I think, to me, Damian Lillard wants to win a championship more than anything, because if you want to be the man, you could have just said, keep me in Portland, and been the man. But to me, I think a championship is first more than anything, but they have to figure it out. As far as having a dominant big man, they got both the Lopez brothers. It's only a handful of great big men in the NBA. You got I know we give him a hard time. We just were talking about him. Rudy Gobert is decent. Cat is decent. Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, the Joker, of course. After that, it's a bunch of B-listers. So if you got some of the best B-listers, that's all you can really ask for. I think that the Lopez brothers, one is better than the other. They got both of them. I don't know what kind of package deal that Milwaukee is handing out with family members. But you know, you got both the Lopez brothers, you got the Giannis and them nigga brothers. They giving out family pack deals. They Costco over there. Them niggas giving out family deal plans over
Yeah,
there.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I think Lopez is decent for a big man considering the climate of the NBA and this, you know, even though the last few years actually, the centers have been winning the MVP, it's still a guard-dominated league. And even if you're a big man, the big men are shooting threes, and Lopez is decent shooting threes. I think it's more of a gel situation. And Middleton, where the fuck are you at, bro?
Yeah.
We gave you enough time to not be on your ass. Pause. You was a key part of them winning the championship. I know you've been hurt the last couple years. You came back last year. Look, these agents need to get more credit than they're getting because you opted out your last year of your contract and he got you an extension that was worth a lot of money. You need to show up. We have not been talking about you in 2 years, and you are a key part of when they won this championship. As much as we talk about Damian Lillard, and much we talk about Giannis, and much we talk about them not having a dominant big man, we do not bring up Chris Middleton, and you're a fucking disappearing act right now, my nigga. You got to show the fuck up because if they're gonna win anything, he has to be a part of that.
Yeah, and then you would think this is a perfect team for him to be on as a shooter. If you got Giannis on one side of the court and you got Damian Lillard slashing to the basket, this should be spot up 3 season.
Absolutely.
You know, you should make at least 4 threes a game with that kind of team, especially with those two on the floor. All you gotta do is fade to the pocket, fade to the side, and shoot threes.
Yeah, or not even that. He had definitely, you know, we live in a 3-point NBA era right now, but he has a great mid-range game. I don't know what the fuck happened to that nigga because he was cooking at one time. You know, I used to argue a lot about Middleton, and you know, people that I argued with him about is now like, yeah, Cam, what was up with all that Chris Middleton shit you was talking? Yeah, well, obviously we see they can't win without him doing well. That matters, you know. So all the niggas I was arguing with 2-3 years ago, and I was saying how Chris Middleton is good and he deserved $170 million that he had got at the time, and they were saying they shouldn't have paid him that. I was saying they just won a championship. It was well deserved because when he got the $170 million contract, they won the championship the next year. Then you just disappeared. A lot of people, or not a lot of people who win sometimes get like a daisical. You could see Giannis wants it. You could see LeBron James wants it. I don't know if Anthony Davis wants it because he won already. A lot of people who win say, okay, I got mine. And that's not the attitude to have if you're an assassin.
Fair point. And that's funny because when we come back from break, we'll talk about Jordan Poole, talking about attitudes of people who want to win versus not. So we're going to go to break. And when we return, we will talk about the Pacers' loss to the Wizards.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it, wanna be free.
Welcome back. So let's get into our Underdog Fantasy picks of the day. Tonight, the Nets will play the Warriors. Underdog Fantasy has Mikal Bridges at 5 rebounds. Do you have him higher or lower? Mase first.
Who are you talking about again?
Mikal Bridges.
Oh, I thought you said something else. 4.5 rebounds?
5 rebounds.
5 rebounds. So they're playing again?
The Warriors.
Okay. Less.
Cam.
Lower.
Draymond ain't there to body slam niggas. I'm going to say hi.
Steph Curry's at 27.5 points. Do you have him higher or lower? Cam.
Higher.
Higher.
Okay, and Klay Thompson is at 4 rebounds. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Higher. He got to get his name back.
That nigga had 30 the other night. Niggas said, oh, so underdog, y'all my niggas. Niggas said, okay, he had 30 because they was just combining all this nigga stat to get 22 points. They said, I can't. He hit 30 points. We'll put him back to regular odds. I'm going to say higher. Draymond's not there. He's going to have to get a little more rebounds than he regularly gets. So I'm going to say higher.
Yeah.
All right, make sure to download the Underdog Fantasy app and you can make your picks too. Okay, so the Pacers are having a pretty interesting last couple of weeks. I feel like they have been in the news a lot. But for this time, the Wizards beat the Pacers 137-123. Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma dropped 30. How do you feel about that?
This team could be good. No, let me stop. Now that would be a real switch up. They can start talking about the Wizards can be good. You know he wilding right now. I mean, it's one game. I wouldn't make more of it. This is how Cam said sometimes. I definitely wouldn't make a lot out of this, you know. One game they figured it out. I don't know what's the backstory to them figuring it out. I'm waiting to hear what's the story behind it. Like you got both of them to play on the same night. Was there baddies in the stadium?
You know he get busy when the baddies come.
Was only fans in the front row? They was hooping. This is hooping for real. This is pool party for real. I don't know what to make of this, honestly. I see Halliburton, you know, he's still on his tear. Pause, he's going crazy. 19 and 11. That's the only thing I really know.
What I'll say is this about this game. Pacers is somebody else that y'all was showing off. We talking about targets on people back, and I'm not saying everybody's target is the same size. Pause. I'm saying like, you know, you got the Wemby target because you supposed to be the next nigga. You got the target on the Lakers because they just won the in-season tournament and they popping champagne. And on the East Coast, Indiana, y'all was, you know, Halliburton, y'all was Dame time, and y'all was popping shit. And what happened? Giannis come back, score 64, poke you all in your chest, treat y'all like little niggas. Now you got niggas like Jordan Poole and Kuzma, and I'm like, oh, they supposed to be that new source in the East. What you said, Stat, they got motion. Them niggas over there. Niggas think the Pacers got motion back. Let's set it off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take no big deal out of this. The fucking Wizards is 4-20. Let's hope that they can win 15 games this season. Mase, you made a great point. Who knows what bitches he invited to the game, Jordan Poole, that is. And it was a great game. Looking at the score, it doesn't look like a lot of defense was being played. For the Wizards to score 137 points is kind of wild. And on the other end, it was 123 points. It got to one point, it probably got to a point of the game where they say, all right, if we trade baskets, we're up 10, we're up 8, we're up 11. We could trade baskets and win the game. It doesn't look like a lot of defense was being played. But this isn't really about the Wizards. To me, this is more about people paying attention to the Indiana Pacers. And when people come to play you, they're going to be ready to play you, whether it's the Wizards, the Lakers, San Antonio, Philly, everybody. So you got to think and I'm just giving you the top 3, Boston, Philly, and Milwaukee. They on your ass, Pacers, because they feel these are the teams that we were picking to go to the championship. If it was anybody from the East going to the championship, and y'all made a quick splash pause in the beginning of the season, not only that, going to the in-season tournament, now niggas got a problem with you. Everybody was talking about, Giannis was mad at the game ball and he wanted the game ball to give it to Damian Lillard, and they gave it some. That wasn't about that, my nigga. That was about y'all niggas fronting on them niggas the week before, doing all this shit, showing off, and niggas don't like y'all no more. They think y'all some young punk ass niggas, and that's how they gonna approach y'all for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
So
it looks like Poole got his points because it was Buddy Hill. You know, I'm starting to pay attention to who niggas turn up on. Pause. Like if you think about even Kyle Kuzma playing great, he was playing great against a small forward. This is like a 3-guard offense. So even when he got his 30, he got his 30 against somebody that's pretty much a guard.
yeah, but you're correct. But at the end of the day, that was the same system before they got to the in-season tournament. Same people, same players, niggas.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, you're right too. You're 100% because now the reason that you're also correct as well is because now niggas is looking at the matchups and saying, okay, we're gonna have to exploit this. This is what they think this is good. We're gonna exploit this situation or exploit that situation. Same thing like you're saying with Kyle Kuzma. This is where we have a advantage at the 2 or 3 guard position.
Like PJ Tucker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like PJ Tucker, 6'4", 6'3", nigga playing small forward and power forward. Oh yeah, we're
right
in the ball.
Yeah. Right, exactly, and especially you're right, and especially if that's a great example. Especially if you got that situation of PJ Tucker and them is winning.
Yeah.
Excuse me. If they're winning, you're gonna be like, all right, where the handicap at? Because they shouldn't be winning.
Yeah.
Because we got a height advantage, a length advantage for us in that position for us. So you're absolutely right, Mase. I think that this was working, but now people are trying to exploit the advantages that they have in certain positions.
6'4", and you're 6'9". Go in the box. Is that
right.
simple? It don't matter how good he plays defense. Just turn around and shoot the ball.
Yep.
And now he's looking like he all-star material. Now you just ran into a small guard.
Yep.
Okay. This is the return I think everybody is waiting for. Ja Morant is approaching his season debut on December 19th. While reflecting on his suspension, he said, I feel like it's still a process. I can't say I regret it because in the end, it made me better. So thoughts on Ja's comments and then overall about his return.
Yeah, you're talking about an assassin. We just talked about niggas who want it. We talk about niggas who want the problems. We talk about niggas who gonna go 150 miles per hour with no helmet on. Please, this is what niggas been missing. Ja Morant, my nigga, and this is why we had an attitude last season with this situation. Because Ja Morant, we want to see what you gonna do on the court. That man, I don't know what's gonna happen on his first game, but I smell problems. I smell problems, man. 180 miles per hour
is in trouble.
Who I don't care who the game against, whoever he play. That boy, listen, pause this whole statement, but this is a nigga who backed up.
Yeah.
This is a nigga who ain't had no pussy. He just came home from jail, just so to speak, figuratively speaking. Like my nigga, this nigga gonna go crazy.
Damn, I gotta overrule that.
No problem, man. All right, I could go for that. You right. All right, that was kind of crazy. You right.
Yeah.
I can't even say nothing, but you're not gonna get me to be upset because I'm hyped. I'm too hyped to see him play. You got it, no problem. Because you know why? You got to think, not just him not playing. You got to think about this. Let me look real quick because I just had it pulled up. Pause. You got to think about this real quick. So right now, the Memphis Grizzlies are in second to last place. They're 6-18, and which is fucking terrible. You know, it been last couple years. Ja Morant has missed some games due to injury, and the Grizzlies was playing well, and it's like, oh, they might be better without Ja Morant. Look, they have a better record when he's not playing. How does it fucking feel now? How's it feel now? Secondly, not only the opposition, You got niggas mumbling and rumbling who just got to the team speaking about Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose talking about, I ain't here to be nobody babysitter. I'm only here to make sure that niggas win the game. Look, y'all had all 24 games to see what y'all could do without Ja Morant. I guarantee Denzel voice. I guarantee Frank Lucas voice, Blue Magic, that this record would not be 6-18 or whatever. 6-18 with them in second to last place in the West if Ja Morant was playing. And I guarantee that it'll pick up when he gets there. Is it too late? It may be too late. Look, they almost at 20 losses, and we're the third of the season already, just about gone. Hopefully it's not too late because Ja Morant is prime time, and you would want to see him in the playoffs, absolutely. But y'all niggas fucking don't even get there yet. I ain't here to babysit. Niggas got to turn shit around, and this ain't the way to go about doing it. Well, obviously, whatever way y'all go about doing it is not working. It isn't working. So I'm very excited to see Ja Morant come back.
They could at least been 500. This lets you know that they can't. This lets you know there's no way they could do that team without Ja Morant.
And when you talk about agents, I know he just signed for an extension, but this may be the biggest point without playing to show why they should give him more money. After, I mean, he just started a new extension, so he got about another 3-4 years before he comes back up for an extension. Pause. But what I'm saying is, sometimes when you don't play, it can get you the money. See what happens when I'm not there.
See what happened. We was in the conference, so this just years ago. Now, look at y'all niggas. It's 6-18. Crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. Listen, the bag gonna be different. And look, he got a long way. He just signed the $230 million, so he got some time. But I would definitely be looking at front office like,
yeah,
nigga.
I don't even know, like, watching the game, who would you watch them because of if Ja not there? I mean, Bang has been playing exceptionally well, but besides Bang, is like, who would you watch on that team? I don't even know nobody to watch.
And not just that team. Ja Morant is probably top 5 box office players you want to see play. I'm not saying the best or the worst or this. I'm talking about, you want to see Kyrie dance when you get there. You want to see Steph Curry go to the game and see him shoot a bunch of threes. You always want to see LeBron play because he's just LeBron James and he's never going to cheat you if he's on the court. Ja Morant is one of them players, win, lose, or draw, that you want to see play no matter what's going on. So I'm excited, man.
On the top 3 team, I think LeBron is definitely 4, and then probably Wemby is 5. You just want to see if it really is, pause, what they say.
Right, absolutely.
Facts, and I couldn't agree more. Okay, so the Clippers beat the Warriors 121-113. Andrew Wiggins is now coming off the bench for the first time in his NBA career for a regular season game. So do you guys feel like the Warriors are no longer a threat this season?
First, who is he coming off the bench for?
2 rookies. So Jonathan Kuminga, and then there's someone else.
Kuminga is not a rookie.
Kuminga not a rookie.
Not a rookie, but younger players. So Jonathan Kuminga, and there's someone else I got to figure out.
Kuminga should have been starting.
Yeah.
Another thing I think it's over for the run, honestly, because I don't foresee them beating Denver no matter what happens, no matter who comes back or what they do. Is no way I see them beating Denver. And I'm a Golden State fan. I just don't see it.
Me neither. I think this is to answer your question, is the run over unless something drastic happens. Clay is very inconsistent. We have no idea what's going to happen with Draymond Green as far as him coming back to play. Steph Curry is doing all he can do. Steve Kerr is trying to make adjustments now as far as bringing Andrew Wiggins off the bench. I agree with Mase. Kuminga should have been starting since the season started, in my personal opinion. But I won't, to answer your question, it may be over for now. I don't count Steph Curry out a lot, but he needs some help.
Yeah.
But to me, this isn't really about, I know the question is to run over, but to me, I don't want to focus on that. I would like to more focus on the Clippers turning it around.
Yeah.
The Clippers right now, they're in seventh place.
Crazy.
Yeah, right now they're 14 and 10. They was probably about 5 or 6 games under 500 for a minute when James Harden got there. And I want to give a lot of credit to Ty Lue, because Ty Lue had to figure that out. He had to sit there and watch all them losses. He had to sit there and say, what's going on? What are you going to do? And what he said is going to take about 10 games. And people like myself were giving him and the Clippers a hard time 4, 5, 6 games into his process as a coach, saying, well, what you going to do, man? Who you going to take off the bench? Is you going to put James Harden on the bench? Is it going to be Russell Westbrook? Oh, Russell Westbrook benched himself so he could come off the bench. And it just looked very unorganized for a minute. But that just goes to show that Ty Lue knows what he's talking about. He's an NBA champion coach, not only a coach as a champion as a coach, but he's also a champion as a player. So he has a lot of experience in the NBA on both sides of the coin when it comes to being a player and a coach. And when he says, give him 10 games to figure out, well, I say from now on, let's give him 10 games of what he says to figure it out, because right now they're in 7th place in the Western Conference with a 14-10 record. Golden State right now wouldn't even be in the play-in. I believe they're, let me look right now, I'll tell you, yeah. Golden State is 10-14. So if the playoffs started today, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. But I don't think this is about Golden State, this particular topic. I think this is more giving praise to Ty Lue for figuring it out, at least for the moment.
That's really good.
All right. Switching gears to football real quick. After a pretty bad 63-21 loss to the Raiders, the Chargers fire their head coach and GM. Do you guys think they made the right decision at this time of the season?
Yeah, I would go first with that. When you talk about the Chargers, everybody knew the coach was going to get fired. It just seemed like the next thing to do. Like we're going out to eat, we got to go to sleep, and right after that, when we wake up, we know he's getting fired. I know Bub and them said he would be getting fired this week, but I knew he was going to get fired the next day. I really knew that. There was no way you can keep him around. There was no way. But what made the GM?
I think he got fired too, if I'm not mistaken.
But I'm saying, fire him. Did he bring him in? Was it mob rules? Like you brought crazy. So go.
But you gotta realize, what we all gotta realize is that the people that own these teams are people too. They're human beings, and they got friends.
Yeah.
So when you got friends, then you got other owners that you talk to, even though y'all are all competition. These people talk to each other. These people meet in the off seasons, NFL meetings every summer. I actually was in Scottsdale at the hotel when there was an NFL meeting a few years ago. And I was like, oh, Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, all these people are cool with each other, even though they're trying to kick each other's ass and win a Super Bowl. That's one of them things like this. I'll give you a great example. Like Mase, you own the Seattle Seahawks. Stats, you own the Washington Redskins. I own the New York Giants. I'm doing bad, but we're all friends. Yeah. And we get on the phone and Mase is like, nah, some G shit, Cam. You my nigga. Everybody got to go. And I may be like, yo, chill, y'all. I'm going to give niggas one more week. Well, how many more weeks you want it to be, my nigga? You looking crazy. Yeah. And then and then you may get a call. Now we're going back to the Chargers. Of course Justin Herbert is out, but that has nothing to do with defense. That coach in my brain was fired in the 3rd quarter when niggas had 63 points. Because as much as you want to say Justin Herbert isn't playing, Justin Herbert doesn't play defense. Why does a team, especially the Raiders have 63 points in the third quarter. That makes absolutely no sense. I don't really have a lot to say with it. I think this should have happened early in the season when Justin Herbert was still playing. But yeah, you get 63 points, you got a great quarterback, and you got some pretty decent players, and you can't make it happen. Something's got to change.
It's definitely been an interesting season for football. So we'll see what happens next. And then lastly, before we close out the show, looking at the rankings for the NBA MVP ladder, leading the ranks is Embiid, then Jokic, then Giannis. Who do you have at the top right now?
I keep doing this. So now they gave okay, you got Embiid, you got Joker, and then you got Giannis, right? So it's almost seeming like, Killer, this is gonna be reverse racism. They feel like they gave the award to Joker for 2 years, so now they're gonna give it to Embiid for 2 years. Is that what we're doing right here? That's what I'm picking up. They're seeming like they're trying to make sure he's not the only center got those back-to-back MVPs. But I don't see Giannis right now affecting what Embiid and Joker is doing. Right now they seem like the two dominant forces.
I've seen a few.
And I know he just
I'm saying of course we look at Giannis is averaging damn near triple-double, bro. It's just fucking amazing what he does for a nigga who don't give a fuck like that. But I've seen more games this season with the Sixers. I'm talking about watching whole games. And I watched whole games this season with Denver, maybe two or three I caught. But I think I caught about 5 Sixers games. And Joel Embiid, as much as I didn't put him in my top 10 in the beginning because I'm sick of the process.
Yeah.
But he is busting ass, bro. That nigga is busting ass, man. He is busting ass. And I think it's one of them situations, my personal opinion, is that I thought Joker should have got the MVP last year, and a lot of people said that. And he's one of the people who said, okay, y'all still on that shit that I didn't deserve to be MVP. I bet I'm gonna show you why I'm the MVP. I have a list here. It's a little different from stats list. This is actually the Kia MVP ladder. And the people, I'll give you the top 10 people they have now. They got Joel Embiid first, the Joker second. They got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander third, Luka fourth, Giannis fifth, Tyrese Halliburton sixth, Jason Tatum seventh, Kevin Durant eighth, LeBron James ninth, Devin Booker 10th. I'm not mad at the list. What I do think is this, is those two people to lose. When we say those two players, I'm referring to Joel and I'm referring to the Joker. But if for some way Shea keeps this play up and Oklahoma creeps into a 4 or 5 spot in the playoffs, he's also going to be a big name to keep an eye out for. A lot of people were really shocked last year when he made it to first team All-NBA. They was like, hold the fuck on, how was he first team All-NBA? And, you know, it's like me and Mase was talking about earlier in the show, it seems like he's one of them players that rise to the occasion, pause. One of them players that's like, okay, we're in a small market. I'm from Canada, so I didn't get a lot of press in America coming into the NBA. But when I'm on that dance floor, I'm on that dance floor. When them lights is on, I'm going to show you why I'm first team All-NBA. So if the Oklahoma City Thunder some type of way get into the 4 or 5 spot in the playoffs, I think I wouldn't be surprised if he could win it as well.
Do you think at this point you're ready to say he's better than Booker? It's a good question.
A great question. Because you know why that's a great question? And it's even like with Klay Thompson as well. I don't, It isn't about what you did for me yesterday. It's about what you could do for me today and tomorrow. And what happens is I don't ever like to throw nobody under the bus that could score 70 points. Klay Thompson scored 70 points in 3 quarters. Devin Booker scored 70 points.
Yeah.
But the Shea nigga, man, right? The Shea nigga, man, listen, if you asking me today, if you asking me today, I'm going with Devin Booker, but ask me this question again in February, I may have a different answer.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was saying that. It seemed like as Shea is coming into the conversation, Booker is going out of the conversation.
Listen, this is the Kia MVP ladder. Booker's 10 and Shea is 3.
Yeah.
So
So, Book, if you're watching this, man, you got to take control of that Suns team. You got to get that Kobe mentality, man. I know you got it. You got to turn up, man, and let KD take KD on the ride, pause with you to the championship. But if it's going to happen, it got to be on you. It can't be on you playing second. It's your time now. You the young dog.
Yep.
Very good points and weird things to think about, but it's something to think about. In the comments, let us know who you guys have at the top of your MVP race. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
Super necks, like when they doing them 2 for $5.